Thanks for joining me for practice. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel. And in the description's a link to my Patreon account. If you'd like to offer a donation, that's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So we're going to begin on our backs. Just allow your spine to be flat against the earth. And then you can have your knees bent if you'd like, but feet would be a little wider than the hips so the knees fall into one another, so that it takes no effort to hold up the legs. You're certainly welcome to just keep the legs long if that's easier, or have the soles of the feet together with the knees wide, again, as long as that doesn't cause any discomfort. And then just place your hands on your belly and let your fingertips lightly touch one another. Arms are relaxed. Body sinks into the earth. And take a few moments here to find your breath. Belly swelling on inhalation and navel drawing back to spine on exhalation. So belly breathing is a really great way and a shortcut to calming the nervous system. You may find that as the belly swells, the fingers part slightly, and as the belly draws back to the spine, the fingertips come back together. And after you've established that belly breathing, you can shift your hands to your rib cage, let your fingertips lightly touch there. And then as you breathe into the belly first, belly will swell, and then move some of the breath up into the rib cage so the rib cage widens and the fingers separate. Then on the exhalation, again, navel draws back to spine and rib cage comes closer together, and we consider this to be a two-part breath. Take a few moments to establish that pattern. Notice the space being created in between the rib bones and maybe even the widening of the ribs against the earth. And then bring your hands onto your chest. Let your fingertips lightly touch one another. And same thing. We're going to breathe into the belly first, then the rib cage, and now up into the chest. Chest widens, fingers separate. Exhale, navel back to spine, rib cage drawing closer together, and then the chest softening and the fingertips coming back to the center. So nice, slow, steady rounds of this three-part breath. And then really using the full capacity of the lungs and diaphragm. Three more, please. And no rush, but when you finish the last one, you can gently release the arms by your side and just take a few easy, effortless breaths. Maybe even noticing the The breath is naturally deeper. And then bring your hands into prayer position at the front of the heart. Anjali Mudra. Draw the chin in. Feel the back of the neck lengthen. And we'll treat this as if we were bowing our head to our hands. We'll set the intention for the practice today to be to work with the area of the hips, both in strengthening as well as creating space. And just freeing up anything that feels stagnant or heavy or dense, which tends to settle into the base of the body. Almost like that spring cleaning when we go in and we clean out our garage and we remove anything that no longer serves. We feel a sense of lightness and spaciousness. And this provides the room for something new to come in, which we may or may not be aware of. So if there's anything in your life right now that's asking you to clear out some of the stagnant energy from winter, from the old, please bring that into your intention now. And place that intention in the heart, and we'll surround it with unconditional love and compassion. Begin with the chant of Om 3 times to align our energies with the vibration of creation. Take a deep inhale in. And then a long exhale out to really let go. Another deep inhale in. Inhale. One more. Now, if your knees were wide, you can gently use your hands to guide them back to the center. And we'll bring our knees into our chest. Give yourself a little hug, rock a little bit from side to side on the body, especially in the morning practices. It's nice to use movement to reduce any stiffness that might be there. And with the back flat on the earth, inhale, take your arms up over your head, straighten your legs, soles of the feet face the ceiling. And then exhale, bring your hands to your knees and your knees to your chest. Okay, we'll link that together with our movement. So inhaling, arms reach over the head, legs extend, soles of the feet face the ceiling. And exhale, slowly bring that back in. Good. Now as you're breathing, it's inhale, belly, ribs, chest on inhalation. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Keep going. See how much breath you can get in, really utilizing this movement to fill new spaces in the body. Last one here. Good. Now gently place your feet flat on the earth. See if you can wiggle them back as close to the glutes as possible. You can even lightly touch them with your fingertips to know that the feet are in position. And then bring your arms down by your side. And we'll move into some undulations of the spine. So anchoring into both feet equally. Slowly roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Opening up that heart. And then exhale and slowly roll down. And see if you can really feel length coming into the spine. And eventually relax the glutes and tailbone. And repeat it again. Inhale, roll up. all the way to the heart and to the chest. Exhale, slowly roll down. Tailbone reaches towards the heels. Good. If you'd like, add in your arms. So inhaling, arms reach up over the head as the body lifts. And exhale, slowly roll down, navel to spine, arms release at the same rate as the tailbone. Good. Again, inhaling up. Exhale down. 2 more. Take your time. There's no rush and nowhere to get to. Last one. And then once again, hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side on the spine. Good. Place your left foot flat. Take your right foot on top of that knee. If you see between the legs there's a hole, take your right hand through the hole. Left hand comes around the back of the thigh. Interlace your fingers and now draw the knee towards the chest. So we're just going to be a little gentle opening here for this right hip rotator. If your elbow happens to press into the thigh, you can gently push the knee open a little bit more. But breathe into that right hip and send that prana there to help heal and clear out any stagnation or tension that you encounter. One more. And release the foot. We'll switch sides. So now right foot flat, left knee comes to the, left ankle comes to the knee. Left hand goes through the hole, interlace behind the thigh. And once again, we're going to pull that knee in towards our chest. And if the elbow reaches into the opposite thigh, press it open. Breathe into the left hip. And the feet stay engaged here so that when the feet are flexed, there's a little more protection for that knee. But our concentration is on breathing into the sensation. Letting go on exhalation, feeling a sweet sense of release. Good, and then lower the right foot to the floor. We're going to hug both knees into the chest one more time. Straighten the legs up to the ceiling, soles of the feet flex, and now open the legs out wide. And it doesn't have to be much, again, we're just warming up, but if you'd like, place your hands on the inner thighs and just let that little extra pressure of the hands create some space here in the hips and in a groin. Again, sending your breath into the sensation. You'll find the inhale will intensify it for a moment, but then the exhale, we use that to release and let go. Last one. Good. Hands shift to the outsides of the legs. Use that to guide the legs back to center. And now, keeping your hands underneath your knees, we're going to rock and roll up a few times. So using momentum, come back and forth over that spine. Keep the spine curled, chin tucked so that you're not slamming the back into the floor. This brings a little bit of energy into the spine. 2 more. And then sit all the way up into a seated position for a moment. Arms extend and just feel sensation. Does the body feel a little lighter, like we just cleaned out that garage, remove some old stagnant stuff? Good, right hand onto the earth, inhale the left arm up, walk the right hand out. Ground into that hand and now push the left hip away from the fingertips and just feel spaciousness coming into the side body. Now in the upper arm, draw the pinky finger down towards the floor a little bit and pull the head of the shoulder away. And send the breath now into the left side body. Long exhales. We're going to start to increase them by 2 counts. So if, for instance, you're breathing in for 5, we're going to exhale out for 7. And by utilizing that longer exhale breath, we'll be able to release more than we're taking in. One more. Now lift the left arm up. Come back into a seated position. See what the difference feels like between the left side and the right. And now left hand is going to go down, right arm reaches up. Walk that hand out, and now feel the lateral stretch on this side. And it might be different. You might find that one side holds more tension than the other. Pinky finger rotates down, draw the head of the shoulder into its socket. Make sure you're not sinking in that bottom shoulder either, so keeping some space there between the shoulder and the ear. And as the right hip anchors away from the fingertips, breathe deeply into the rib cage. On exhalation, pull the navel back towards the spine. Remember, the exhale is going to be about 2 counts longer than the inhale now. Last breath. Really let go. And then lift with the top arm, slowly come back up into seated, take a moment to feel. Might take a minute for it to recoil a bit, but do you feel a little bit more balance on both sides? And finally, the last one here, we're going to inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, draw your navel to your spine as you slowly melt over the legs into the forward fold. Hands rest on the earth, head and neck relaxes. Press into the palms, push a little bit of the weight back into the sit bones. And breathe here. Each of those longer exhales, use that to lift the navel more deeply in and up under the rib cage. Getting a sense of hollowing out the belly. One more. Now walk your hands up about halfway. Extend your spine so your sternum comes forward. Line your arms up with your ears. Press down into your hips and slowly rise back up into seated. And then exhale, take the arms down by your side and just feel all that length and space move into the arms. You can turn the fingertips down once you get to the earth and continue to reach those fingers away and just feel that depression of the shoulders. So as you feel the neck lengthening, the tension melt from neck down through shoulders, down through arms, and then give it away through the fingertips to the earth. Oh, very nice. And then we'll come into tabletop position. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet, press firmly into the earth. We're going to inhale, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up, and then exhale, tuck the toes, and find downward facing dog. Sit bones reach up and away, and extend the spine. Good. And then inhale, bring your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift. This time as you exhale, we're going to move back to child's pose. So tops of the feet can ground, navel draws in and up, and you're going to slowly take the hips back to the heels for child's pose. Repeat that sequence again. So inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift. And we're going to tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and away for downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. Inhale, exhale. And then inhale, bring your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, draw your navel to the spine, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, child's pose. Inhale, come up. Heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, take an extra breath. Fill any of those tight spaces with inhale breath, and then use the exhale to let them go. Then inhale your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, navel to spine, round the back, sit bones to heels, child's pose. Just one more on your own, please. And take your time with this, really listening to your body. You know, if that extra breath needs to be a little longer, you need to take an extra 2 breaths. Just do what the body's asking. Notice how through the repetition, each time we come into the posture, it's just a little bit easier. And we'll meet together in child's pose. There's no rush to get there. Take your time. And you can either stay in child's with the arms extended, or you can take the hands back towards the heels, embryo, and just round the upper back. And let the shoulders melt away from the ears. Keep letting go. You know, we tend to store a lot in our hips, but we also store a lot in our shoulders. So let that release. Good, and then hands come forward again. Inhale into tabletop position. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, we're just going to walk our hands back to our feet 6 inches at a time. So come back 6 inches. You have slightly shorter down dog. Stay here for a breath. Let a little bit more of the weight go into the heels, and then exhale. Walk your hands back another 6 inches. Stop and stay. Breathe. Another 6 inches. Keep that exhale a little longer than the inhale. Six more. Now, depending on your height, you might already be to the toes, but take as much time as you need to get the fingertips to line up with the toes. And then you can keep a little micro bend in your knee if you'd like. Bring your body weight forward slightly in the balls of the feet. As the sit bones reach up, feel the crown growing heavy, creating traction for your spine. Draw the shoulder head slightly away from the ears to make a little more space for the neck. And then bring your hands to your hips. Slowly scoop your heart as you rise all the way up into standing. And then roll the shoulders back a few times just to loosen and come into Samastiti standing mountain pose. Arms are by your side. Close your eyes and just feel. Good. Now we're going to separate our feet a little bit wider than hip distance and turn the toes out slightly. Heels in. Hands to hips. We're going to make big circles to the right. So we're going to move around through the hips, bringing in some lubrication to the joints. And just feel, where are you holding tension? You become more aware of it when we're performing some of these joint exercises. And then once you've gone to one side, switch and go to the other side. And then settle for a minute. Feel some of the warmth. Bring your legs and feet back, either big toes touching space between the heels or feet hip distance apart. And just feel, and you can have a soft gaze at the floor. Helps to steady the eyes. You can kind of feel the prana circulating through the body. Good, we're going to come to the front of the mat and begin sun salutation C. Hands are together here at the heart to start. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold over the legs. Step the right leg back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale up for low lunge. Deepen into the lunge a little bit here. Exhale, step back to plank position. So for the first round, we're going to bring knees to floor, sit bones to heels. Scoop your nose, chest, chin across the floor. Inhale into cobra, elbows and shoulders pull back. And then exhale to downward facing dog. And we'll step the right foot forward to the fingertips. Lower the left knee down. Inhale up for low lunge again. Lean into it. Open up that psoas. Exhale. Step the back foot forward. Standing forward fold. Inhale, arms reach out wide as you rise. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. We'll start on the left side this time. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. The left leg goes back. Lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale up for low lunge. And exhale, step back to plank position. Bring the knees down. Take the sit bones back to the heels. Toes are tucked. Push out through the feet as you scoop nose, chest, chin across the earth. Inhale into cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. Left leg's going to come forward. Right knee comes down. Inhale up for low lunge. And exhale, step the back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, plank position. Now I want to try the traditional way is knees, chest, chin all at once. Inhale, scoop forward and up for cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right leg comes forward. Left knee is down. Inhale up for low lunge. And exhale, step forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, reach out wide. Exhale, hands to heart. Left side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Left leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, plank position. Traditional way is knees, chest, chin. Scoop forward and up for inhaling to cobra. And exhale to down dog. Left leg through. Right knee down. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step forward. Forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart your way. One more round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Right leg goes back. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale. Do the vinyasa the best way for you. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, come forward and up. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right leg through. Left knee down. Inhale, reach. This time if you want, when you step forward, you can interlace your fingers into yoga mudra. Use some of that warmth. Bend your knees, scoop through chair. Then come all the way into standing with the hands touching. And exhale, hands to heart, left side, inhale. Exhale, fold. Left leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, scoop forward and up. Exhale, down dog. Left leg through. Right knee down. Inhale, low lunge. And again, if you want to step forward, interlace your fingers, yoga mudra. Bend and scoop come through. Inhaling to reach. And exhale, hands to heart. And now just rest. So as you're resting here, just feel maybe heart's beating a little faster. Maybe there's some warmth in the body. You know, that's kind of the point. But how quickly can we shift the nervous system back into calm and slow and restful so the body can utilize that heat to clean and clear out? Try to get to that full diaphragmatic breath as soon as you can. And then return to that 5-7 breathing, Ujjayi breath. One more. Very nice. So we're here at the front of our mats with the big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up, and exhale, forward fold. So we'll step the left leg back, lower the knee, top of the foot, and if you need extra padding under your knee, flip your mat over. Inhale, up for low lunge. Keep the body upright and bring the right hand down to the thigh. Inhale the left arm as long as you can, so you feel that stretch along the lateral, and then exhale, sink into the lunge. Let the fingertips reach towards the floor, but they don't have to touch. Inhale, tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts, extend again, and exhale, lengthen towards the floor. Keep going with your breath. Inhale, reach, tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts, exhale, soften into the lunge. 2 more. Good. This time as you inhale, come back up with a tall spine. Now you could either keep this padding under your knee. If you need a blanket too, you can always use that. But we're going to bend the back knee and grab onto the top of the foot with the hand. And to the best of our ability, just draw that heel as close to the hip as possible. Now right heel of the hand can push forward. That kind of just gives us a sense of more stability. And then our awareness needs to stay in the midline of the body, hugging the inner thighs toward the midline for more support. Gaze is steady either at the floor or the horizon. Find your breath, longer exhales. Maybe reach back with the right hand and draw that heel in even more. Steady your gaze, steady eyes for a steady mind. Now for the last breath, if you want to rotate the shoulders open, let the heart come forward, moving into a slight back bend, and then watch as you release the foot. We don't want to have that slingshot happen, so find that foot come softly to the floor, release the mat, and step back to down dog. And down dog is this lovely symmetrical pose, so let the body settle into that symmetry for a moment. Maybe feeling that the left leg's a little warmer than the right. Each exhalation, hollow out the belly, pulling the navel deeply in and up. Good. We'll do the other side. So this time we're going to step the left foot forward all the way to the fingertips. Now, if it's hard to get it there, take the time to pick it up and place it there. Flip your right mat over and lower the knee down. Come up with a tall spine. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Left hand is onto the thigh. Extend the right lateral. And then exhale and sink into the lunge. Fingers reach towards the floor, but they don't have to touch. Inhale, now tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts. Reach with the fingertips. And exhale, sink and soften. Good. 3 more with your breath. Remember your pattern of breathing. Eyes are steady. One more. Now this time as you come all the way up, arm reaches, we're going to very slowly bend the back knee and grab onto the top of the foot with the hand and draw that heel as close to the hip as possible. Heel of the left hand is going to push towards the front knee. Again, that just feels more stable. And work those inner thighs to squeeze the midline of the body. Gaze steady at the horizon or at the floor. Or if you like, reach back with the left hand and draw that heel even closer to the glute. Sternum is lifted. Watch the tendency to poke the low ribs out. Keep a little length there for the tailbone. Now for these last few breaths, if you want to try and open up, rotating the shoulders, get that little bit of a back bend in. And then be careful and mindful as you release the knee so you don't get that slingshot. And bring the hands down, unwind your mat, step back to downward facing dog. Again, settle into the symmetry and notice what's changed. Good, one more here. And then slowly walk your hands back to your feet at the back of your mat. Not as slow as we did before, but take your time with it. And then find standing forward fold for a moment. And see as you forward fold, can you feel the body willingly releasing maybe a little deeper or more than before? Breathe into the sensitive areas. Think of the exhale like a sigh, just being willing to fully let go. One more. Good. Now, from this position, turn your toes out, heels in, bend down into squat, elbows on the insides of the legs, hands into prayer by the heart. And then exhale, bring your hands to the floor, turn your toes in, and standing forward fold. Repeat it again. Toes out, heels in. Inhale into the squat, letting the hips release, hands in prayer. Exhale, bring the hands down, turn the toes in, forward fold. Good. 3 more like that, please. And just moving dynamically with this action, creating a little more flexibility. Reminding the hips and lower back to stay open and spacious. One more. And once again, we're going to bring our hands onto our hips, scoop the heart, rise up into standing. And take a moment to just feel standing mountain pose. Observe here, body and breath. And the mind just becoming a little more quiet, a little more stable. Okay, so still at the back of your mat, turn your left toes out to a slight angle and step your right foot forward to a comfortable distance. Now, if pyramid is difficult and you need to put blocks on either side of the foot, take a moment to do that. Bring your hands onto your sacrum, and we're going to inhale, the left arm lifts up. Now create that space again along the side body, micro bend the front knee, and as you exhale, reach forward, so like you're lengthening over that leg, and then bring the hand to the floor or block. We're going to switch it out. So you're going to take your right hand down, bring your left hand onto the sacrum, extend the right arm in alignment with the ear, press into the legs and feet, and come up. Now we got to equal that out, so we're going to exhale, come forward again with the right arm extended. Reach over that leg till you can't go any further. Switch the hands out. Right hand to sacrum. Line the left arm in alignment with the ear. Press into the feet and come up. Let's do it again. Exhale. Lengthen. Switch the hands out. Inhale. Right arm in alignment with the ear. Press equally into the feet to come up. Use your breath. Exhale. Navel in. Switch it out. Inhale, filling with breath, creating lightness. Again, exhale, last one. Inhale. Exhale, go down. And then inhale, left arm up, slowly rise. And we're going to step the right leg back as we lower the left hand down. Find standing mountain pose at the back of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Take a moment just to feel. And then we'll do the other side. So right toes will turn to a slight angle. Left foot steps forward, hips are squared, hands onto the sacrum. Inhale, the right arm reaches up. Exhale, lengthen. You're reaching over that leg, hand to the floor, switch it out. Right hand to sacrum, left arm in alignment with the ear, press equally into both feet and come up. Again, exhale, go down with the left. Keep that micro bend in your front leg. Switch it out. Inhale the right arm long and come up. Again, exhale. Switch it out. Inhale. Exhale, go down. Switch it out. Inhale. Last full round. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And now we'll step the left leg back as we lower the right arm down. Find standing mountain pose in the back of your mat and just feel. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. And it's the first time to inhale in a monkey pose. If you'd like, hands on your shins, send your sternum away from your pubic bone. Exhale, step your hands forward. We're going to come into plank position. Lower the knees to the floor. Lift the toes behind you. Squeeze the elbows tight till the belly comes down. Tops of the feet ground. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for a breath or two. Good. And then we're going to bring the left leg up in the air and exhale the right heel down. Now keep your hips square. So if you look at your back toes, they're going to point straight down. Inner thigh of that leg is lifted up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you're going to come forward into plank, sending your left knee towards your left elbow. Inhale, extend that leg back into downward facing dog with the leg in the air. Exhale, take your left knee now to your right elbow. Inhale, extend it. And now this time, take your leg all the way through, hugging that knee into the center and lunge it forward to the fingertips. Spin your back foot flat, line the front heel with the arch of the back foot. So back foot is parallel to the back of your mat. You're going to plant your left hand down on the inside of that foot, on the floor or block. Arm presses into leg, leg presses into arm. From this position here, we're going to take our right arm, slide it all the way up into the air, and come into our side angle pose. Breathing deeply here. Lean back with your chest. We're going to stay in level 1 variation today. Anchor firmly to the outside edge of the back foot. Now, the goal here is to get deeper into that hip. So bend your front knee. Make sure it doesn't go over the toes. And each exhalation, pull your navel back towards your spine. Breathe deeply here. Gaze can either be at the horizon or at the floor. One more. Good. Now bring your fingertips to the floor. Turn your left toes in. Settle here into wide forward fold. Hands go onto the backs of the legs, slide them down, and grab onto the ankles. Draw the crown of the head to the earth. And at the elbows, be bent out wide. And really settle. Find your breath. Use this as a resting pose. Maybe the crown of the head touches the earth. Make sure you're forward slightly in the balls of the feet. One more here. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Lift your chest halfway up. It's going to feel like monkey pose. Now we're just going to go to the back. So you're just going to go to the opposite foot, pivoting on the balls of both feet so that you can come into a high lunge with the right foot forward and the left leg back. And this time we'll step back into downward facing dog from here. Take a moment. And now reach your right leg up in the air. And then make sure those toes are pointing straight down. Inner thigh is lifting up. As you exhale, take your right knee towards your right elbow, coming into plank. Inhale, extend the leg back again. Exhale, take the right knee to the left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest. Use your core strength to lunge that foot forward to the fingertips and spin the back foot flat. Your front heel is lined up with the arch of the back foot. Right hand goes down on the inside of the foot or onto a block. Arm presses into leg, leg presses into arm. Slide the left arm across your chest and lean back, coming into side angle pose. Breathe deeply here. Now challenge that front knee. That's what we're usually backing off of in this pose. So be willing to go into that density that we feel often in the base of the body. We're sending prana there, so that prana is fresh oxygen and nutrients that helps to clean and clear out. But keep that longer exhale so you're letting go of more than you're taking in. Keep pressing arm into leg, leg into arm. One more. And now bring the hand down. We're going to turn the toes in, coming back to that center. So toes in, heels out. Foot spreading posture. Hands onto your hips. Slide the hands down. Hold onto the ankles. Draw the crown of the head towards the earth. Again, maybe it touches. Maybe not. Lean forward in the balls of the feet. Make sure those hips are lifted high and anchor to the outside edges of the feet. Long exhales. Hands underneath your shoulders. Allow your torso to come up again. Feels like monkey pose. This time turn the toes out, heels in. Keep the knees bent. It's a wide squat, so this is more like a sumo wrestler. Bring your forearms to mid-thigh and now sink. Sink into those hips. Push the forearms towards the knees. Be willing to let go, releasing tension from that area of the body. Long exhales. Who knows what's pent up in there, but we don't have to analyze it. We can just let it go. And then come up halfway, bring your hands to mid-thigh. Dip your right shoulder down, giving a nice twist here to the spine. Come back to center, dip your left shoulder down. And just continue to twist back and forth, whatever feels good for you. One more to the right, one more to left. Just kind of feel like you're giving yourself a nice little massage. They're wringing you out. And then slowly come back to standing. Heel toe your feet back to the center and find standing mountain pose. And you can close your eyes if you prefer or have a soft gaze, but just take it in. Be aware of what you're doing in the body and the effect that it's having, the body and the mind. One more here. Okay, we'll step forward to the front of our mat. Big toes touching, space between the heels. Hands together in front of the heart. Classic sun salutation A. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, monkeys. Hands on the shins or floor, but pull that sternum away from pubic bone. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. This time, if you want to leave your knees lifted for chaturanga, go ahead. If the knees are lifted, you roll over the toes into up dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. And this time, we're going to bring knees to floor. Sit tall on your heels for a moment. And we're going to separate the feet so that the heels are to the outsides of the hips, using some of this warmth to sit into Virasana. And I've done a lot of opening for the hips, so this is the opposite action, and then hands just rest in the lap. Now, if sitting here and your hips are off the earth, then you can take a block between your heels and just sit on the block. You want to feel the hips grounded onto something, so maybe a blanket's a better option for you. And then extend the spine, chin in, back of the neck long. Just breathe here. Two more. Nice deep breaths. Longer exhales. And then we'll slowly come out of this. So if you had a block there, you can release it. Now, it'd be helpful to have a blanket with you. Not everybody needs one, but what I found is that you don't want to create instability in the sacrum. So if you feel like you can't get their hips all the way down, you might be a candidate for a blanket. We're going to extend our right leg out in front of us. And if that's not going to settle onto the floor equally with the left hip, then you're going to put the blanket underneath it and use that to prop the sit bone up. So this is Trianga Mukha Hypada Paschimottanasana. So one of our legs is still in that Virasana form, and then the other one is now extended straight. Pull back on the toes, especially the pinky toe side. Inhale, the arms reach up. And then exhale, you're going to lengthen your torso forward until you can't go any further. Then hands come down to the floor, and you begin to forward fold. Try to avoid some of that rounding of the upper back. So try to keep the chest open, collarbone spread wide. As you exhale, remember that feeling of drawing the navel deeply in and up. This will also take some of the belly out of the way and give you a little more room to forward fold. But breathe into the sensation just like you were doing before. Longer exhales to release. One more here. And then take your time to pad your hands into the earth. Slowly rise back up into seated. Take a moment to feel that. And then we'll release, and we're going to switch. So you're going to go back into the Virasana with both legs. So now right heels to the outside of the hip. Extend the left leg forward. And if you don't feel like your hips are going to be level, use your blanket. Take your time to set it up so that everything feels nice and stable in the sacral area. Okay, pull back on the pinky toe side of your left foot. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale again. You're leaning forward as much as you can until you can't go any further, and then begin the forward fold. Now, if your hand touches the shin or the ankle or the foot, you can do that. I like to keep my hands on either side so that I can play with any tilting I feel happening in the body because I tend to be tight here. Now breathe down into the hips, into the sacral area, any place where you're feeling that tension. Remember to contract navel back to spine on exhalation. letting go. And when you finish here, we're going to slowly pad the hands back, come into a tall spine for a moment, so let the body just settle. And then we can release the bent leg. Take a moment to find Dandasana staff pose, release the blanket, whatever prop you had there. And then hands by the hips, press down equally into both heels of the hands, pull back on the toes. Spine is long and there's activation of most of the muscle groups in the body. So the legs are engaged, we feel the pelvic floor lifting, core lifting, we're pushing down through the hands. Chin is in, back of the neck long. Dandasana is a reset, but it's also a very active pose. One more here. And then gently release. Come down onto our back. Have your feet flat, knees bent like we did at the beginning of the practice for bridge. So pressing equally into both feet, slowly roll up through the spine. Exhale and slowly come down. And take your time with it. We were just in a forward fold, so just be mindful and gentle. Again, inhale, you're rolling up. And exhale, slowly rolling down. How about 3 more? Last one. Very nice. Then just rest. So thumbs underneath the hips. Take the legs straight to the floor. Bring the elbows underneath you. Reach out through the balls of the feet. Spread the toes. Press into the forearms. Puff up the chest. And let the crown of the head come down into the mat. So Matsyasana fish. Keep reaching out through the balls of the feet. The more you anchor into the forearms, the lighter the lift through the sternum. Even you can jut the chin forward slightly and stretch the front of the neck. And then release your head and slowly come back down. Bring your knees into your chest for just a moment. And then left foot, knee bent, foot flat. And then right foot comes in. Now you can just hold that foot and knee like you're holding a baby and rock your hip back and forth. If you can get the outside of the right foot into the left crease of the elbow, you can interlace your fingers around the leg and then you can rock back and forth. So ideally, if you're super flexible, then you can just keep the head down and rock. But if you need to have a little bit of a crunch there in the core to do it so it feels more comfortable, do that. Just listen to your body. But keep rocking. Again, there's something in this repetitive movement that's soothing for the nervous system. And then we'll gently release the rocking. Straighten your left leg. Take the outside of this left foot now into the crease of the left hip and thigh and gently push the right knee down. And I think I said left foot, so I meant right foot. So a little bit of a half lotus here. And we'll switch. Right foot flat, knee bent. You can just have your left foot in your hand and your other hand around the knee and just begin to rock back and forth, opening up the hip. Or if you got the flexibility, the outside of that left foot goes into the crease of the right elbow. You can interlace your fingers, wrapping the arm around it like a baby, and continue to rock. And of course, if it's comfortable, you can always have the head on the floor, the try to avoid that chin lifting too high. Very nice. And then we'll gently release that. Release the right leg to the floor. Hold on to the outside of your left foot with your right hand and bring that up into the crease of the right hip and thigh. Now left hand is going to gently push that left knee away. And breathe here. Deep, slow Ujjayi breaths. And gently release. Okay, so we're going to move into a twist. Bring your knees to your chest to start. And then take the knees to the left into fetal position. And open your chest up to the right. So extending both arms into a T shape, we're going to take our right arm and close the book. So you're going to bring the right hand on top of your left hand or wrist. And then we're going to inhale, keep the knees to the left, and open the right arm back up and just deepen the twist. Then inhale, bring the top arm, right arm rather, up and over the head. And then exhale, bend your elbow, draw the elbow down towards the rib cage, and see if you can twist a little deeper. Inhale the top arm up over the head again, right arm up. And then exhale the arm back into the T, and then bring it around to close the book. So let's do that again. Inhale, open the book, right arm comes out to the side. Inhale it over the head. Exhale, bend the elbow, twist a little deeper. Inhale the arm back over the head. Exhale it out to the side. And then close the book. Good, one more like this. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, arm over the head. Bend the elbow, draw it down towards your rib cage. Inhale it over the head. Exhale the arm out wide. And then close the book. Good, we'll bring both knees back to center. Make sure you feel balanced. And now taking both knees to the right. Open the arms out wide into a T. Just get that sensation, that feeling. Try to stack your knees as best as possible. Good. Now this left arm is going to come around and we're going to close the book. So hand comes down to the other hand or wrist. And we're going to inhale, open it up again. Exhale, relax. Inhale the top arm over the head. Exhale, bend the elbow and draw it towards your rib cage. Inhale the top arm over the head again. Exhale it out wide. And close the book. Good. Inhale, open. Exhale here. Inhale the top arm over the head. Exhale, bend the elbow, draw it towards the rib cage. Inhale back over the head, out wide, and exhale, then close the book. One more. Inhale, open. Stay for the exhale. Inhale over the head. Exhale, bend like cactus arm. Inhale over the head. And then exhale out wide and close the book. Good. And then slowly come back to center and just hug your knees in. Feel your back fully supported by the earth. Good, and then we'll prepare for Shavasana. So if you need any socks or sweaters, take your time to put them on. You want your body temperature to cool down slowly. So even if you feel warm, the body will reduce temperature quickly when you're in a relaxed state. Okay, so whole body softens into the mat. If you have an eye pillow and you want to use it to block out the light, it's recommended as it helps the mind go inward. And if you need any bolster or anything under your knees, please take your time to set yourself up so you're completely comfortable. Arms are down by your side, palms face up. Feet are a little bit wider than hip distance. Toes turn out. So we're going to take 3 sighs through the mouth. Take a deep inhale in. 2 more. One more. And just completely let go. Feel the restful state that you're in. And let that absorb into your cells. With that calm and tranquil peace, begin to slowly activate thumbs across fingertips, toes wiggle. Begin to roll wrists and ankles. No rush. And gradually bend your knees. Bring them into your chest. Draw them towards your chest and feel your spine lengthen across the earth. Now we'll gently move onto our right side into fetal position, arm under the head as a pillow. Take your time to acclimate. And then left hand into the earth, slowly come back up into seated. Head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up. And prop your sit bones up, either on a blanket or bolster, anything that's going to help you to feel comfortable, sitting with a tall spine and a relaxed body. And just notice the difference in your attention and your experience from when you first started till now. That embodied relaxation. And feel the freedom of all the places that you released tension. Now have blood and oxygen and pranic flow. And just through the power of your mind, bring your attention to the tip of your nose. And inhale only in through your left nostril. Let that meet at the third eye, and then exhale only from the third eye out the right nostril, using the power of your mind. Inhale through the right nostril to the third eye and between the eyebrows, and then exhale from the third eye out the left nostril. So we're just going to continue this mental alternate nostril breathing on your own. And allowing the breath to be equal in length now. Now, if you're really comfortable here, on your inhale, when the breath reaches the third eye, you can bring in a pause just to your comfort level, no strain, and then you'll breathe out. And same thing, when you breathe in, if you'd like, hold the breath in the third eye, just to your comfort level, and then breathe out. So continuing that with your mental alternate nostril breathing. Just one more round, please. You'll end the round by exhaling out the left. And then we'll breathe equally in through both nostrils. Let that breath come to the midbrain. So it's passing the third eye into the medulla. And then hold your attention there. Hold your breath in. And then when you need to, with no strain, gently exhale equally out through both nostrils and do a few rounds of that. You may sense some light or color or sensation. Maybe even feeling that the pulsation of energy is moving of its own accord. And then you'll complete this round by bringing your attention and breath and energy into the midbrain. And then just hold your attention and your awareness there, breathing comfortably. And maybe sensing there's some light or illumination in the midbrain, radiating even beyond the skull. Let the mind become absorbed in that light. And keeping that good feeling with you, bring your hands back together in front of your heart and bow your head to your hands. And just go back to that intention we talked about at the beginning, like releasing any of the stagnant, old, or unnecessary. And that when we do, we create room for the new, for this lightness, this spaciousness, and sometimes for things to come into our life that we didn't even anticipate. And so we'll seal this practice with a chant of Om just one time. Deep inhale in, and a long exhale out. Another deep inhale in. Namaste.